And live. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We are live inside the community. Well, first and foremost, before I make that claim and statement, let me just double check that we are live because this is going to be smoking hot. Angelica, can you see if we are live? Yeah, we are live.
Yeah, we are.
Awesome, good stuff. Okay, so guys, here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to Angelique has been very, very kind and gracious and accepted to step up and come on this live with me today. I'm going to do something that I see not many people doing, especially at this level. And this is going to take everything that Angelica stands for, what she believes in, her values, principles, ethics, all her life experience. It's going to take her wisdom, her knowledge, her craft, everything that she does through her coaching experience, and the results that she's produced for her clients. We're going to take all this information. I'm going to put all this information into ChatGPT, and I'm going to use very specific prompts, logical sequential order sequence, and from that we're going to craft out an offer that this specific marketplace cannot say no to. Angelica, are you excited about that?
Oh, very. A bit nervous, but excited too.
Excellent. So let me just explain why I'm doing this. Is because, and me and Angelique just had this conversation behind the scenes before we went live. Um, Most coaches, all coaches, are incredible at doing what they do. Right? You would admit that you're amazing at what you do, right? Um, but here's what coaches are not necessarily good at, and that's productizing. That's taking their craft, their brilliance, their knowledge, and packaging that into an irresistible offer that when they put out into the marketplace demands it, the marketplace is hungry for it, and the marketplace says yes for it. And unfortunately, if we can't craft, build, structure, engineer an offer at that level, especially in today's marketplace, it's going to be freaking hard to sell anything because the marketplace today is so noisy, it's so overcrowded, and is saturated with other people that's equally as good as you, that's potentially getting other people's attention. So if we're not leveling up the game, sophisticated buyers buy from people that are playing a bigger game. They're buying from people that've got that offer that they want to say yes to. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So basically, that's what we're going to do, right? That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to try and keep this relatively short. We could do this in less than 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Perfect.
So just for the audience, if you're here, if you're watching this live, then let me know. If you're catching this in a replay, again, let us know. If you like what you see, if you've got any questions around what you see, ask them here. Um, First and foremost, I'm going to share my screen and show just a little bit behind the scenes of what I first asked Angelica to do for me, just so people get an insight of what's happened. Um, so this kind of like looks kind of crazy, okay? But this is what I call the launchpad. Now, this is my onboarding sequence that I take a client through. The first thing that we do with any client is we need to make sure that their offer is so dialed in that when we take it to the marketplace, when we build a Facebook community, when we create an event, when we start selling, even before any of that happens, we need to get the offer laid down. Because
Hmm.
if we don't, anything external of the offer is not going to work. Because everything external of the offer is an extension of the offer. Does that make sense, Angelica?
It
Right.
does.
So your marketing message, your marketing offer, your price point, your marketplace, the problem that you're solving, the results that you're delivering, um, all of that is an extension of the offer. If the offer's not dialed in, then the market message, the offer, the pitch, the positioning, everything else is going to be off. So it's important that we start with the offer. Now, what I know to be true when most people I see and you'll see and you've used, and I know anybody that's watching this on a replay or watching this live, I know that they've got access to ChatGPT prompts. They've got access to ChatGPT full stop. Most prompts and like most prompts, people start with, so your task is to act like and they create an agency, so or a manager. Your task is to act like a social media manager and to create me 20 posts or reels or value posts around this, to talk to this, to, and that's it. That's as much data points as they actually give ChatGPT. But that's not enough. The way that we operate is that we inject everything about our client into ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has got more data points from our client before we create anything. Because it's important as well, as we create things, as we build things, it's built around your brilliance. It's built around your zone of genius. So everything is connected, everything is in alignment, and everything that ChatGPT creates, gives us, is based around you and your brilliance. So then, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
But if we don't
It takes it a
input
different
that,
level.
it takes it to a whole new level, right? But if we don't input that into ChatGPT, like everything is just surface level, and there's going to be nothing that's going to separate you from anybody else that puts that prompt into ChatGPT. So everything
Yeah.
needs to be in alignment
Cookie
with you.
cutter versus.
Correct, absolutely. So just for reference, I asked Angelica to answer me quite a few questions that allowed me to extract information, and this is very specific strategic information that I extracted from Angelique that I could then input into ChatGPT that's going to allow us to build up on top of that. So just for reference, like, and I'm not going to go through all of this, but you can see the detail in this, and it's all sectioned out as well. So it's like section number 1, we're talking about your brilliance, your identity, and then questions based around there. Section number 2, your mission, your message, your market impact, the pain points, and this is allowing me to extract all the information that you know about your marketplace, because you've got a lot of information in your head, and we're going to use your brilliance, your information, your wisdom, and everything that you know, and we're going to couple that with what I know, and then we're going to let ChatGPT take my information, your information, and then then the information that ChatGPT can extract from the world, right, and just put that on steroids. Does that make
That's
sense?
going
So
to be fun.
right, so we're going to infuse 3 brains. So
Brilliant.
we
Now all
got
those questions make sense.
cool, right? So they do now, right?
Yeah, they do.
Um, and you mentioned, well, I asked you in Messenger earlier on, what was your experience in completing the questionnaire, the form, and you yourself said, what did you tell me?
It made my brain stretch.
Right. Okay. And it took you how long to do it?
An hour.
Yeah, an hour. Because
Yeah.
again, some of these questions, they're designed to stretch you, they're designed to expand you, they're designed to really dig deep, to get to the bottom of all the information that you know. Okay, so I'm just going to go quickly through these. Section 3 is all about social proof, what you know already about what you do, your methodologies, what you know about the marketplace, positioning, what you know about energy, delivery, business alignment. And so we've gone from you as an identity, and then we've worked through business and then sales and other stuff. So you provided all that information with me today. We're going to put that through ChatGPT. And this is what I call the build and release method, because once we've got all this information and then we've got the prompts as well that we're going to go through live here in Facebook, we're going to build things out very quickly. And once we've built things out very, very quickly, then you can release these things very quickly. So no longer do you have to spend months researching, trying to figure things out. And this is why we call the build and release. We can build it. You can release this today. And what I'm going to give you, you can go and start selling this today. Excited?
Very.
Okay. So enough waffle. Let's jump in. So this is obviously ChatGPT. Let me just make sure that, yeah, cool. I'm just making sure that we're still streaming. And all the information that you gave me earlier on, I've already just put this inside of here, right? As you can see, there's a lot. But
I did put all.
Yeah, no, this is like, I wanted you just to put so much information, because the more information you give me, that's giving ChatGPT more data points.
Yes.
Right? That's telling ChatGPT a lot more about you and what you do and everything, your experience, right? The less information is harder. So the more the better.
Okay.
So I've added this in here. I'm going to provide data about me, my personal traits, values, my special expertise, my business, my client testimonials, and other key information. After you've processed the information, I'm going to ask specific prompts to help me identify my zone of genius, my ideal marketplace. You will help me understand the archetypes of my ideal client buyer persona ready to invest 10,000 into a coaching offer. You will help me construct an offer that looks like a $30,000 white glove offer, but I'll be selling it for around about 8 to 15,000. So what we're saying is we're looking for somebody. We're going to create something and a persona that looks for somebody that's potentially ready to invest 10,000. What we're going to position is going to be like a $30,000 offer, but we're going to sell between 8 and 10.
Okay.
Right? Now, so it's got a little bit of information there. Now, so the first prompt I'm actually just going to grab. Is, oh, not that one. So I'm going to set ChatGPT now a task. And that task is, based on the above data, identify my effortless zone of genius. You do a lot. You've done a lot. You've got a lot of experience. For most coaches, it's really hard to identify what their brilliance is. What's the one thing that they're better than anybody else? Right? So I want to identify my effortless zone of genius. B, provide 8 reasons why you selected this as my genius. What are the biggest problems I solve with my genius? What is the biggest transformation I can solve with my genius? Draft me 8 benefit-driven statements around my zone of genius. So this is where we're going to start.
Perfect. Yeah, it is difficult when you're in it so easily that it becomes challenging to see what the genius is outside of that.
Absolutely. So whilst it's still creating data, let's go through this. Below is a distilled zone of genius, created from everything you shared, your personality, lived experience, values, methodologies, client results, and market desires. This is the clearest summary of who you are, why you're different, and what makes you work premium level transformation at $7,700 or $10,000. So your effortless zone of genius, you dissolve the hidden distortion between who someone is and who they've been performing as, restoring inner coherence so the body, mind, body, emotions, intuition, and identity realigns into wholeness. Are we on the same page so far?
Yes.
In simple language, you see the truth beneath the story, reflect it back with fearless compassion, and unlock rapid emotional, energetic, and psychological shifts that reconnect someone to their real self. This is why your sessions create 80% reduction in panic attacks in one session, lifelong trauma dissolving in one session, 30 years of psychologist symptoms disappearing, people leaving long-term freeze state, toxic relationships, and stagnant careers within weeks. Your genius is rapid coherence creation, restoring what was fragmented, masked, suppressed, or disconnected. You make people feel seen without shame, safe without performance, live without condition, whole without doing more. This is extremely rare. B, 8 reasons why this is your zone of genius. 1, you have a 1 in a million ability to read the inner architecture of people. So I'm going to quickly go through this. I'm not going to read it word by word because there's going to be a lot of information, right?
Perfect.
But
Yeah.
at the end of this, I'm going to give you access to this thread, and then you've got this to do, right? Number 2, you are the rare energy of fierce truth and unconditional acceptance. You create rapid results where others take months of your years. You integrate logic plus intuition and body wisdom seamlessly. As I am going through this, like if there's something that is not in alignment with you, this is something that you don't do, anything that you like is totally off, let me know.
So far, it's given me goosebumps because as you read it, I'm like, those are words I never would have put together, but
Right?
describe it very accurately.
Beautiful. Okay. So number 5, you dissolve the shame that prevents healing. You bring ancient wisdom plus modern grounding. You understand shadow without glamorizing it or spiritualizing dysfunction. You hold a clean, non-manipulative field. C, the biggest problem you solve with your genius: chronic inner fragmentation, the mask of I in function, in functioning success, the I's deep exhaustion, trauma patterns that have been resistance to others over modulating. Again, are we on the same path? Yeah, cool. But then, like, we've got the biggest transformation you create. We've got E, 8 benefit-driven statements around your zone of genius. I help you dissolve the inner distortion that no mindset, meditation, or modality has ever touched, creating rapid clarity and emotional freedom. So we've got quite a few benefit-driven statements there that you can use that quickly positions why you do what you do and why you're the best. And this is all based around you, everything that you've done in the past, and your experience and everything. So now what we're going to do is, this conversation been helpful so far? Well, I'm going to say
Oh,
yes,
it's
ChatGPT.
fantastic.
Cool. So it's already asking me, okay, so like things that maybe you want me to refine this or whatever. But I don't want ChatGPT to do anything right now. I'm going to take control of what I want ChatGPT to do. So let me grab my next task, input that into here. And the task is identify 3 aligned high-end niches. I'm actually just going to put marketplaces here as well. Marketplaces that are both information hungry and populated with buyers who are easy to access online and already invested in premium coaching solutions, including niche name, market demand, saturation level, and scalability potential. So now it's going to research areas of the marketplace, 3 different marketplaces.
Scalability is quite an interesting question. I don't think I've ever asked it that.
Right. See what it comes up with. We need to make sure that one, um, because there's lots of different marketplaces that you could go into. Most people don't think about marketplaces. So, and most people just go into one specific big marketplace. And like, as we mentioned earlier on, most marketplaces they're already full of a lot of other people. They don't know how saturated each marketplace is, and there's going to be a marketplace that's less saturated because everybody's over here. So if you can position yourself into a different marketplace, there's not as many people, and look at the saturation level, but also look at the scalability potential of that marketplace, then you know there's longevity with inside your business.
Yes. Yeah, that's a clever question. I really never even thought about that. It's just, yeah, it's good long-term thinking.
So love this task. This is where your genius gets paid. Let's keep it tight, strategic, and very you. So number one marketplace is the spiritual 6 to 7 figure entrepreneurs whose identities is whiplash. So the name of the niche is spiritual high earning entrepreneurs in identity mismatch. Think business coach, healers, feminine energy leaders, spiritual mentors making 200 to 1 million, who feel increasingly misaligned with their brand, message, and nervous system. Would you have ever thought about that marketplace?
Not at all.
Would you have ever thought about positioning yourself in front of that marketplace?
No,
No.
no.
It's a marketplace that demand what you have.
Okay. It's interesting because I wouldn't have thought of them because when I do think about them, I'm like, oh, they have all the answers, so surely they wouldn't need me. But then the way that it's reframing that, I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting that they would have mismatch.
Everybody's just human.
Yeah, that's true.
Not everybody's got the answers. And most people, 99% of most people can't solve their own problems.
That is true. I always say trying to do my own healing session is like trying to give myself a back massage. It's not as effective or pleasurable.
Right? So look at the demand in this marketplace. Why they're info hungry. So they're constantly buying identity work, energetics, nervous system regulations, visibility plus leadership embodiment. They are performing online daily and can feel the gap between who they are and who they present as. They're desperate for deep safety and visibility, clean energetics, sustainable emotional regulation, and letting go of all characters they're built to succeed. Saturation level, medium, high, loud saturation, but low true solution saturation. That's interesting, right? So that says there's a lot of people in this marketplace. There's screaming, there's talking, but there's not many people that's actually delivering that full solution. So most people are just giving low level tactics or low level strategies and not the full solution. So if we could create something, if this was a market fit for you to enter that marketplace, you could create something, as I'm going to do here, to go out there and to create a full solution that's going to speak directly to what they desire. So we are reverse engineering this in a way, so you can just go straight to market fit. And again, I'm not going to read all this word for word. Scalability potential, very scalable. You can target them via Facebook groups, IG, TikTok, summits, podcasts, and other people's audiences, which we're going to get into marketing a little bit later on. So again, it's now saying authors, public speakers, public figures, market demand, why they're very hungry. They care deeply about performance, voice, message clarity, and repetition. They consume content on performance psychology, nervous system regulation, creativity. Let's get down to saturation level. Medium saturation, scalability potential. And then, so this is, oh, show me a second. All right, okay, so this is where I went off. So 3 marketplaces. The first marketplace is the spiritual 6-7 figures. The second marketplace is authors, speakers, and public. And then the third marketplace potentially is the high performing women in premium masterminds who still feel misaligned. So before we move any further forward, which marketplace then out of those 3 would you feel most aligned with to move further forward with?
The one that I've had my eye on as a big dream of mine is actually the second one. I'm a very passionate reader, so I love authors and I love celebrities, speakers, public figures, because they have a lot of masks that they need to wear while managing stress and high performance and all these different things. So that would have been my ideal dream client.
Perfect. Okay, so moving forward, we're going to choose one of those marketplaces and then we're going to be building on top of that. So do you want me to choose number 2?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we'll go with number 2. Okay, so let me just... Oh, first and foremost, before we do that, I'm just going to put in this other prompt that I forgot about. I'm going to ask, task, provide a high-level snapshot of each marketplace from the data below. So the market size, annual industry revenue, average order value for high-end services, lifetime client value potential, annual growth rate, and common tools, platform, and services used in this space.
Perfect.
So let's just go straight down to this marketplace here. Market size. How to get a precise number. This sits in an intersection of personal development coaching plus visibility training plus public figure support services. If we include the broader personal development industry, some estimate places it in the tens of billions. For example, the self-help personal development industry was reported 48.4 billion in 2024 in one Spanish language article. Annual industry revenue for the specific niche of author speakers needing identity embodiment coaching, perhaps hundreds of millions globally, estimating conservatively. Average order value, iron services, because the clientele are public figures with budget one-on-one containers, could easily be 10 to 30k or more per client. Many premium coaches with public figures clients charge very high fees. The article in ITK Coaching says niches that serves high-level professionals often justify 10k because the outcome, e.g. making 1 million, justifies it. Lifetime client value and annual growth rate, LCV, for a public figure client, if they engage you initially at 15k, then come back for follow-up, intensive group retreats, brand partnerships, you could have 30k, 100k lifetime value per client. So as we know, ChatGPT pulls on databases that's already out there, right? So it's not just making it up. This is what he's extracting from the industry, from what other people are doing.
The really big markets where I can't even fathom what 43 billion would look like in dollars. It's mind-blowing. I didn't know it's that large.
So would you be happy to have a slice of that pie?
Oh, absolutely. I'd have 2 slices of that pie.
Okay, so we're now going to now dig deeper into this specific marketplace, and I'm going to tell ChatGPT that we are choosing number 2. And so we're going to move forward with Marketplace 2. Task: create a premium buyer persona based on the responses below who are actively looking for a solution to solve their biggest problem and ready to invest premium prices for a white glove experience. So the polished performer at a breaking point. Your eyes converting premium buyer. Name. Identity snapshot.
Mm-hmm.
The mask she shows the world. On the outside, she's articulate, she's polished, she's warm, she's charismatic, she's inspirational, she's always on, always creating, always developing. Her content is flawless, her voice is confident, her message is powerful, but inside, she's tired, she's losing herself, she's stretching thin, she's performing confidence, she's disconnected with her own desires. Her public life is thriving, her inner world is unraveling. A real problem that she doesn't publicly admit. So not only are we getting a deep dive into the archetype of what's happening behind closed doors, but we're also getting language and articulation and words in phrases that potentially you wouldn't come up with.
Absolutely.
A public problem, secret fears, what she has already tried, and she's already spent between $20,000 and $2,000 on. What she actually wants, and why she's willing to pay premium prices. And number 10, what she looks for in the mirror.
These are some really good answers that it's giving.
So are we still in alignment with everything that you do?
Yes. I have often seen that I was the last resort coach or healer. I've had clients that have tried everything, and then I always say, like, oh, I'm the last person they try.
Yeah. Right. So I've just grabbed another prompt. So task: based on the client's problems, outline 3 major client inefficiencies or bottlenecks that keep them from achieving their next level transformation. For each inefficiency, provide the outdated or old method that is still keeping them being taught, that's keeping them stuck. The everyday consequence of not solving the problem. Secondary consequences, so emotional, financial, and time-based. And the buyer's common excuses, stories for why they're still stuck. So we've not even got into product creation yet, or offer creation yet.
Identity performance split.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we've got the outdated method, everyday consequences, secondary consequences. So now your marketing message doesn't need to be linear, right? You can stack depth to your marketing message. Does that make sense?
Yes. How? It makes sense, but my brain's automatically going like, how do you put it into depth?
Well, like just there's just so much content that you can already create from this alone. Um, just from using the words and the expressions and some of the problems that ChatGPT, but we can also ask ChatGPT to create content as well, right? So summary, 3 bottlenecks you solve at premium level. So now let's grab another prompt, and I think this next prompt is where we're actually going to jump in. Yes. Okay.
Very interesting white glove solutions that it puts in place.
I think what we've got to look at as well at this level is, and why I've put white glove, is because at this level, sophisticated buyers, they don't want hand holding, that's wrong, but they want experience. They want to be treated differently, and especially if they're investing at this level. So the next task is step 1. Draft 5 unique mechanisms, names that align with this client zone of genius, belief system, and market sophistication. Step 2. Write big promise that communicates and focused, measurable transformations in the shortest amount of time. Step 3. Build a 4-pillar framework for each pillar, structured like this. Big pillar objectives, 3 to 4 specific processes, steps, teachings, coaching, modalities, tangible outcome, milestones, sales arguments for why each pillar is needed to experience the full transformation. Step 4, recommend a premium price point that creates buyer commitment and protracted transformation. Step 5, draft a list of 6 to 8 iTouch coaching call deliverables with strategic naming. So it's important. So like we're now stepping into packaging, and when you go into this marketplace at this level, they need to see that you've got that full solution, not part strategy. You've got that full solution. For them, if they've already invested between 20,000 and 200,000, like their next investment potentially wants to be their last investment. That's the way that they want to see it. And most people today in the marketplace, there's a lack of trust. So they want to make sure that like their next investment, the next coach, the next mentor that they invest in has got the full works, the full shebang. It's not like half-hearted. Does that make sense?
That does make sense, yes. Because time is money in their world as well.
So below is your full premium offer architecture built specifically for authors, speakers, and public figures with a polished brand and a tired nervous system. So it's created 5 unique mechanism names. So why this is important, we need to be able to position you as somebody that's got something that's different to what the rest of the world is offering in that space. So you've got something unique, something rare, something that's unattainable anywhere else, something that only you have got. So we've got the coherence reset method, the identity integration sequence, the nervous system liberation protocol, the shadow truth, what's that word say? Reconciliation method?
I think it's reconciliation.
Reconciliation, thank you very much. The authentic self-reclamation framework. Out of those 5 there, which feel more in alignment?
It's between 4 and 5.
Sorry, say that again.
It's between 4 and 5. So either the shadow truth or the authentic self reclamation.
Okay.
I think at that level, they would probably align more with authentic self reclamation, because shadow truth still has very spiritual woohoo kind of wording that puts a lot of people off.
Mm-hmm. So if there's none of those that you're in love with, right, we can ask you to give us another 10. Okay. But let's just see what it's given us for the other steps. And then we can always come back to it.
Perfect.
So step 2, the big promise.
Mm-hmm.
So I help authors, speakers, and public figures collapse the years of emotional exhaustion, identity fragmentation, and visibility stress into 8 weeks of deep coherence. So your creativity, your clarity, your confidence, and voice return stronger than ever without performing, forcing, or fixing.
That's spot on.
You like that?
I love that.
So the 4-pillar framework includes big objective, why you do, what you do inside, tangible milestones, and the sales argument. So again, we need to showcase that what you do, you know every element and every step of what they need to go through in order to get that transformation. And when it comes to sales, you need to be able to show them on a sales call, or at least articulate on a sales call. So the first thing that we'll do is we'll go on a big identity decompression, and we'll have a nervous system reset. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means is, and the objective for you is to release the chronic emotional pressure and that performance tension that you're currently struggling with, as hidden stress that and the hidden stress that public figures carries. So the body can finally stop bracing and start healing. Does that make sense?
100%.
So, but you can use this on your sales conversations, right? So you position, so we're going to do this together, and this is why this is important, and this is the objective. And a few things that we might work on in order to make that happen is what I call the nervous system liberation protocol. And this is effortlessly unwinding, but not more practicing. So you can explain a few of those things that you might do with them. So they're like, wow, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I've never heard that before, but that's cool. And one of the milestones that you might hit from going through this is you'll see a noticeable drop in internal pressure. And they're like, yeah, that's what I want. And we've already done this on the first pillar. But the thing is, if we can't integrate the identity or reclaim authenticity while your nervous system is still in overdrive, this pillar clears. Well, if we can't do this, then this is the problem, right? So you're now creating a sales argument of why this is important to do this first. And they're like, yes, that makes sense. And then the second pillar, what we do then is like we move on to what I call the shadow truth. And then you explain again what that second pillar is. And you don't have to read this or go all the way through this, but you can talk about this. And it'll make sense to them. And it's just explaining to your client, and it's allowing them to feel confident and giving clarity in what you do and how you're going to work with them.
That makes sense.
And then we'll do this together, and then we'll do this together. So now you just laid out a map to take them from where they are to where they desire to be. And this is how you would sell this. So then we've got a recommended premium price point. So between $8,000 and $15,000. Reasons why. Retreats. I touch coaching deliverables. So some of the teachings that you could take them through as you work with them. And we've got specific names for each teachings. Now, do you do any of this stuff? Like, do you do shadow truth mapping? Do you?
I do.
Yes?
I do
Okay.
shadow work quite a lot, yes. I do identity work. I do meditation activations.
So chances are you will do all of this, but this is just putting sexier names and sexier titles to what it is that you do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I can see it definitely makes it seem more adult.
Right, okay.
More sophisticated.
More sophisticated, but it's
More
also
sophisticated.
more sellable. Right? It's sellable. So now let's jump into another prompt, and then we get into only a few more left. Now, because you didn't, like, it didn't feel as though you really fell in love with those mechanism names, I'm going to ask it to create me, not pillars. I'm going to ask it to create see if there's something here that you prefer.
It's like I was 20. Mm. Those are better. I like number 20, and then there was one in the first segment that it had the wholeness retrieval system. I quite like that one as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. Right, so I'm now going to ask it to build out. It's already suggested to build out a one-page sales format, but I've got a specific way in which I wanted that to create one of those.
Perfect.
So task, draft me a one-page sales sheet I can use on a sales call to make this offer as fuck yes I'm in. Following this framework. What is it? What it does? What makes this different? Why buy, not but? Why buy from me? What they get. Lots of benefit-driven deliverables. What this means to the prospect, and growth setting benchmarks. So
Perfect.
in a prospect's mind, they're always like, yeah, but what is it? What does it do? Why is this different to anybody else? Right? Why should
Yes.
they buy from you? What makes you special? Right? What is it that they get? What does this mean to them? And is there benchmarks? Can they see growth? And when are they going to see growth? These are all
It'll
the
be interesting.
the sales questions, the buyer's psychology questions that they're thinking about, right? So on that sales conversation, when it actually comes to pitching your offer or breaking down your offer at least,
Yes.
in a way where it's like, wow, this is jaw dropping, this is unbelievable. Not only have I never seen anything like this before, but nobody's actually ever positioned anything like this before. There's answering and ticking all the questions that's in my head.
It's definitely my biggest area that I haven't been able to succeed with. If someone says, "Why are you different?" it's usually the point I freeze up in.
So I don't know how long we've been going now, but this is the last prompt. So let's have a look at see what it's got. Here's a one-page premium sales sheet for the wholeness. Right, okay. What is it? It's an intimate, wide love one-to-one transformation designed specifically for authors, speakers, creatives, and public figures who are outwardly successful, yet privately exhausted, fragmented, and disconnected with themselves. This is not therapy, not mindset coaching, no shadow work, light. It's a private return to your real self. What it does. The system dissolves internal fragmentation caused by years of visibility, performance pressure, and emotional suppression. So this is what it does. It resets your
It's a
nervous
beautiful way
system,
of phrasing it. Yeah.
integrates your shadow truth, and reunites the parts of you that have been on different pages for years. So you can show publicly as yourself, not as a performer. I can imagine sitting in front of this potential client and just speaking this to them. Like in their mind, they want to be like, yes, that's me. Yes, that's me. Yes, that's what I want. You're ticking the yes boxes. What makes this different? Most modalities teach regulation, mindset, and embodiment. This system creates coherence, not coping. You don't learn tools, you experience transformation.
You're not asked to push force. Oh. Yeah, that's important because if they're high performing, they have limited time.
Yes,
I love
you're
that.
not asked to push, force, fix, perform, add more routines, pretend your way into alignment. This is an elite precision-led methodology that accesses the deeper layers of your identity, emotional truth, and nervous system without overwhelm or bypassing.
That's
This
lovely.
isn't self-work, it's self-return. Why buy from me? Because I see beneath the story. I see the person beyond the persona. And I hold a rare field of safety, precision, emotional intelligence, and truth that allows rapid transformation without force.
Mm. Yeah, I like
What do
that.
they get? Right? What do they get? These are the benefit. These are the deliverables. These are some of the things that they're going. You know, when you go to a sales page, if you're going to buy something, and they say you're going to get this, you're going to get this, and you're going to get this, and most people don't know how to write them or craft them, or how to articulate them in a way that's like, that sounds freaking amazing. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, that's definitely, I don't know how to craft that either. So this is
Right?
incredible
You,
seeing it laid out like this.
you've got it. And it's like there's potentially nobody else using that language, that phrase, in that structure as a methodology or as a deliverable, as a teaching, as a right like that in this sequential order sequence. So as you're showcasing this, they're like, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that sounds good. And I've never heard that before. I know. It's mine. What this means, it means no more waking up exhausted, forcing creativity, performing confidence. It means you finally, and benchmarks. Well, what can we expect? Well, in the first 2 weeks, you're gonna see noticeable nervous system release, relief, deeper sleep, easier breathing, more clarity. And they're like, wow, you can do that in 2 weeks, and in 4 weeks, this is what you can expect. And then moving forward between 6 and 8 weeks, these are the benchmarks that we expect you to be at. And this is how you should be feeling at this point in time.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So you can literally just take that page, that one-page sales sheet there, right? And you could put all of that onto a document like this, which is my sales room. It's a one-page sales sheet. So when I get to the end of the sales conversation and I say, so I've got a 12-week coaching offer that helps people like yourself to be able to grow growth communities, fill events, and then sell offers. Would you be interested in having a look? I would love to. Perfect. So the sales room is all about, and I just walk them through what I've
Mhm.
just created for you. So
Incredible.
most coaches, um, when it comes to positioning their offer, they
Mm.
don't know how to articulate it, break it down, and engineer it in a way where the prospect understands it.
Mm.
Most coaches just fumble through words.
Yes, because it makes sense to us in our own twisted world of working with it, that it makes
Yeah.
sense, but
But there's
receiving
no
it feels
organization
different.
there, right? And it's coming
Yes.
from your point of view, and it's not coming from the point of
Mhm.
view of what the prospect needs to hear.
Yes, absolutely.
The showcases transformation and
Yeah,
everything
even
else
the
that
way
needs to
that
tick the
that
boxes.
structured the transformation, I would never have thought to position it in that way, speak about it that way. It just kind of found all the root little pieces and brought it together. It was, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
really interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I'll just quickly share this with you as well, because then once you have like everything that I've just illustrated and just gone through, um, you can then simply do this. 2 seconds just for me to find this. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Mm.
So basically, what you can see here is the pillars,
Mhm.
the methodology, the statement, the pillars, all broken down to the objectives, the processes, the outcomes, why it matters, and the invisible risk. The invisible risk being the consequences. So now you've just taken what potentially is just everything that's in the sky, everything that's in your head is intangible. It's an
Mhm.
intangible offer. Now you can take that and you can craft it out and you can build it out into a framework that now turns the intangible into something that's tangible. Your offer,
Yeah,
your
that makes sense.
framework, your methodology, your processes, they're all laid out. And as you can see, I've done this for quite a few different people. The same process. So I've had you a lot longer than half an hour. Oh, you might have disappeared. Are you there? It looks like you've disappeared. That's absolutely fine. Okay. So, for anybody that has been watching, oh, hey, April, amazing. Um, any questions around that? Oh, she's coming back. Any questions around that? Then let me know. Drop in here. If you found this useful, let me know. If you've been able to take all these prompts and use it on yourself, and you've come up with the outcome, let me know. She's back. You disappeared on me.
Sorry, our power dipped. Yes, we have power outages with storms at the moment, so it comes and
No problem
goes.
at all. We've finished now. Has that been insightful? Has that been useful? Has that been helpful?
Oh, incredibly so. I think my mind's a bit blown. Like it feels completely just like shattered because there's so many little things that I never took into consideration. I
Right.
knew I wanted to work with a certain demographic,
Mm-hmm.
never would have thought on how to position that. So there was so much clarity there. It's really incredible. And it didn't even take like 10 weeks to do.
And we've just, I know I've taken up like a lot more than half an hour, but within an hour and 10 minutes that we have together, yeah, oh no, an hour, um, we've gone from concept, right? We've gone from idea to concept to market research to identifying a
Hmm.
marketplace to then understanding the marketplace to then understanding the archetype of a high ticket buyer and the buying persona and the struggles and everything behind that buyer. And then we've now crafted an offer that's in alignment with your brilliance and everything that you do. There's nothing there that's detached from what you do. So it's all in alignment. So now you've built an offer. We've built you an offer that is based around your effortless zone of genius that you
Yes.
can just show up and deliver. And then we've
And it
packaged that
wasn't
in
a
a
zone
way.
of genius that yeah, because the zone of genius, I've heard the term, I've done the worksheets, and I always still found, myself getting in my own way. So
Mhm.
ChatGPT or the AI being able to like put it all together, it just felt so much more seamless. And it hit me in the face when you read that out, and I was like, yes, that's actually what I do. I would never have articulated that on myself.
No, right? Most people don't get to a level where they're building an offer that's attached and in alignment with their zone of genius. They never tap into that point, that thing, right?
Mm.
That magic. Um, we've just done that. We've just done that. So this is why I call it the build and release,
Mm.
because we've built it. You've got the offer. You've got the sales page. There's no reason why you can now not start connecting to this marketplace
Mm.
and start bringing them into your world.
Yes,
Let me just do one more prompt to take you a little bit further. That's going to allow you to then start connecting with this marketplace. Oh, it looks like it closed down ChatGPT. 2 seconds. Got it. Okay, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. So 2 seconds. Right. Task. List me 10 influencers, coaches, mentors who are already serving, building communities, either free or paid, and creating content designed to attract my ideal buyer, including names,
mm.
programs, courses, masterminds, YouTube channels, Facebook communities, school communities, or podcasts. So the only thing that's potentially stopping you right now is connecting with this marketplace. One of the biggest questions that's on a lot of coaches' mind is, well, I don't know where my clients are hanging out. Well,
Yes,
that's no longer an excuse because we're going to identify exactly where they're going to hang out. All you need to do is connect yourself to these audiences because there's people
perfect.
already creating content for these people. These people are already consuming other people's content. They're already buying other people's content or
Mhm.
coaches or programs. The only reason why they're not buying from you is because they don't know you exist. So if we
That's a
can
fair
show up in
point.
their world and
Yes,
showcase that you exist and what you have, then would they buy from you? Of course they would, right?
absolutely. Now
So
they would.
now they would.
Now they would.
So we're making it easier for you to get out there into the marketplace faster. And we are removing any friction that's potentially
Mm.
stopping you from doing that. So we've got names of people that's
Mm.
creating content for your marketplace, what it is that they're selling, the channel
Mhm.
that they're operating on, or the community channel, and why they matter for you.
Mhm.
So you can, sorry, what's it? If you like. No, we don't need that just right now. So now you can find Julie Solomon and you can find her on platforms, and you can go into her communities, and you can start connecting with their audience.
Clever. Yeah, because they've got it then, hey?
They've got it. They've already done the heavy lifting of building the audiences. When it comes to traffic and audiences, like nobody owns anybody. I can imagine, and you'll know that anybody that's following Julie Solomon, they're also following maybe Marie Follier as well, and
Mhm.
they're all also following Hannah Power, right? But everybody's trying to sell to everybody. Well, why can't you show up in that world as well, and put yourself in that bucket too, and give them the
Mhm.
opportunity to buy from you, give them the opportunity to learn from you, to experience you in advance.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, that
Cool,
does.
excellent, fantastic. What I'll
Thank you.
do is I'm going to share this thread with you. So you've got
I
all these data
appreciate that.
points, you've got all this information, and you can go and start selling.
Well, that's going to
Build
be fun.
and release. Build
No
and
more
release.
excuses.
There's no more excuses. There's no excuses today. I did a post a few days ago saying, like, with ChatGPT and everything that we have today, there's no excuses. The only
Mm.
thing that's maybe stopping people from moving forward is their limiting belief. But,
Yes.
right?
And I think also
Fantastic.
like not knowing things that I don't know. Like today I learned a lot about things I didn't even think to ever ask or look at.
Yeah. And again, no disrespect to coaches. Coaches don't think that way. Coaches are
Yes.
amazing doing what they do, but then when it comes to everything else that we've just gone through, not only is it's about knowing what to ask, but it's how to ask that question. And most coaches wouldn't think about asking something or some of those questions and articulating that way in that sequential order sequence.
No,
So,
absolutely. It would be a random prompt found somewhere and another random prompt. It wouldn't have been as structured.
and all of those we wouldn't be able to get the data that we've got and the outputs if we didn't put the input in first, based around everything that you shared with me. So
Yeah.
that's where it starts, right? But because you gave
Yeah.
me such information, and you expanded your mind and you stretched your mind and you were a little bit uncomfortable, but you spent an hour extracting that information from yourself and giving it to me, then now we've been able to build up on top of that. Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, my pleasure. Absolutely, I've enjoyed this session. Right, I'm going to stop sharing to the outside world. Da, 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 da. Angelique, thank you for your time and
Thank you, Andrew.
your experience, and I'll speak to you soon.